Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 3G Theater, where the magic of the silver screen meets the charm of Fallout. Broadcasting to you from the heart of Charleston. We're here to take you on a delightful journey. Now let's meet our hosts. Have you ever shown up at your camp and there was a smelly homeless teddy bear sleeping in your bed? Well, I'm going to pre-apologize because that just might be me. And I probably do need a bath. But what I thought of is because I've been a huge fan of the top five for a very long time, and I thought, well, what would, as a fan of the top five, be something that would create a really good memory for me as a viewer or a member of the community? And I thought it would be awesome if the top five would have come to my camp and then filmed. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So welcome to Audrey's living room. This is Audrey from Wham, and yeah, if you show up on my server, there's a possibility that we might just take over your camp and film the top five because why not? It creates good memories. Okay, that's what we're doing here. We're having fun. So special guest returning is Cowan Baby 902 and Humble Trav, and we also have a special guest, and her name is Vi. Yeah, I said Vi. Now, if you know Vi, you're going to know that she is very shy. And I'm just saying, we did not kidnap her, okay? But she is shy, and she did a fantastic job. So throw her some love, damn it. All right, for this first one up, we have Six Samurai 62. And this, I'm just going to flat out tell you guys, this one was my favorite camp. Now, you're going to have to wait till the end to see who the winners are, but this one was my favorite, and you're going to see why. It's just because it is freaking adorable. It was a cute design, and I definitely like it. You'll understand why here in a second.
It's a great location.
Oh, it's definitely a great location.
I love how there's zero flickering on the roofs. That's not always easy to do. So did a really good job with that.
It's pretty freaking adorable.
Really pretty.
Yes, I agree.
Good shape structure. It's a really interesting balance between clean and then there's almost a little bit of a scrappy vibe to it. Just that little hint of Fallout.
And like you mentioned earlier, Cowan, that communal fire pit, they merged two of those together to give it a full, like a full circle, you know? I like that.
Definitely nicely done. But yeah, out of all the camps, I think that this one was my favorite just from the adorable aspect. Because, I mean, well, look at it. It's kind of self-explanatory, you know?
It doesn't go into my judging by any means, but the filming on this, really good job. Nice slow panning where you can really see everything that's going on, and just credit where it's due there.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see. The interior is really cute, though. I like it.
Not the easiest shape to work with, so did a really good job of making it cohesive, finding different shapes of rooms for the interior.
Do you mean a
I'm sure
heart-shaped
it was,
house isn't normal, like standard thing? Wow, that's the difficulty too, like you're saying, you know, you got to try to figure out how you're going to lay out the rooms with that really oddball shape.
You have to make the roofs work too.
getting all the
A very
walls
difficult
aligned.
shape, yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
love
definitely a
those
lot to
stone
it.
walls. Those stone walls on each side of the chimney. You can tell that they're perfectly spaced. Did a really good job with that. It's very symmetrical.
don't know. Is that a wallpaper? I think it might be a wallpaper.
It is.
This is cute though. It's definitely well executed. Like that right there. I mean, that's a comfortable bedroom that you would want to go hang out, you know? Minus the broken windows. I like the places that I'm staying to not rain inside, preferably, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers in Fallout.
Clean merge on that sink. Looks really nice.
Yeah, there's a little clipping with that curtain and everything, but obviously it's limited space, you know?
I like the wavy Willard walls for like room dividers.
There's a lot of budget put into the structure itself. It doesn't always seem like it, but when you start combining all those roofs, so good budget management overall.
I love the cabinets. The cabinets, they merged them really, really good where it's just showing the doors and the drawers sticking out. And that was super, super clean.
We just passed it, but also, you know, he's got the Mothman totem and the stove in there too. So it's more than just the cabinets merged. There's multi-merging going on in that.
And a little cookbook on the table.
And that cookbook is a very nice detail. I like that.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Overall, though, it's just an adorable build. I mean, my OCD for me, the bottom of the heart drives me crazy that that roof sticks out a little bit, but that's just me being OCD. Um, and I mean, it's a heart shape, man. It's not the easiest shape to go with, you know.
That might have been intentional.
And then we have Coffee Ewok, the notorious Coffee Ewok.
First shot on this is a really great establishing shot. It just gives you a whole idea of the camp as a whole and sets the tone very well. There's a lot going on between these different buildings. So that was a perfect intro to get an idea of everything that's going on here.
Yeah, it's laid out really nice, and we were talking about this earlier. We have, you know, another channel member, Duckman. If you would have took the name off of this and showed me the camp, I would have thought it was something that Duckman had built, and that's not a bad thing by any means. It's definitely lore friendly. He's got multiple structures, stuff like that. But we were talking behind the scenes and everything, and Coffee, I gotta tell you, you're one of them people out there that I see in the discords and stuff like that, and you're always supportive to everyone in the community. You're always being positive about things and trying to help people out. That's awesome. It's absolutely the way to be.
Each camp that you're putting out Coffee to, I'm just seeing them improve more and more. I love what you've done with this one.
See, this is nice. It's filled, but not overly packed. You know, he was smart with his budget and kept kind of spacing it around the entire camp and not just putting all your eggs in one basket, you know, which we've seen. We've seen people that, yeah, they got 3 or 4 buildings, and it's literally just the one building, though, that is just crazy jam-packed. Everything here is spread out, so you got to be mindful of your budget, you know. That's smart.
Good use of the defense walls too. It's not just the single snappable walls. I'm seeing a lot of defense ones in there that give different textures and a little bit of depth or different shapes from your normal snap walls.
And 1 past 5. Now this one, this was a pain in the butt. This is a pain in the butt. If you've ever built in tunnels or anything like that, you might know the absolute frustration that you're going to have because we put something on the ground and it pops up into the dirt and the roof or up into the bridge structure above you. Everything in here is it's all on rugs and stuff. You have to do that to be able to keep the stuff on the ground. And it is a nightmare. Plus you've got uneven floors. They space their floors out, that they're staggered height with that to accommodate for that. This is a really, really well done build.
There's a lot of nice, subtle lighting that you can easily pass by if you don't. This is probably our third, fourth time watching these, and there's so much that you miss off the bat, but a lot of great lighting involved in that.
Yeah, I think for Trav and Vi and myself, this is our 7th or 8th time watching it. We have had quite a few run-throughs on these.
This camp is deceivingly intricate.
Yes, it is.
Stairs are so flush. I love them.
Absolutely. And this building that we're looking at the roof of right here, now you can see the front of it. That thing's double roofed. It's got the overhang on the front, the overhang on the back. There was a lot that went into this little tiny structure.
I really like that building.
Very well done.
Probably one of the most lore-friendly small buildings that I've seen this week, I think.
Well, and they do have some letters above the door that says "Make it rain," and my theory is that they probably have a pressure plate hidden under that mat, and when you stand there, it turns on the weather station behind their building. Right there on the back porch, there's a weather station. It's just a theory, but I'm pretty sure with the amount of effort that went into this camp that is actually a thing. Very well done, though. It's laid out nice, this would be a place that I would be happy to go and hang out and fish for the weekend.
I love that little boat beside that floating dock too.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Definitely, definitely a lot of love put into it.
It's a tricky one because it's a little bit of a larger build too. I guess you could qualify it as medium. So you tend to think there's not as much merges involved, but then the ones that he has applied are so subtle but so well done. The devil's really in the details on that stuff. And we had to pass through this video, 3-4 times to catch things like that double roof. And that's a good thing.
That is the blessing and the curse. So if you're trying to be lore friendly and you do a really good job, most of the time people are going to walk past all that crazy crap that you just did and never notice it. So, it's a blessing and a curse. It's like, well, I want to show it off and, let people see it, get inspired, but then they walk past it because they don't realize how much was done to it, So if you do a really good job, that's just how it is. And then we have Cyber Jester. This is another really cool one and very, very smart use of a pre-existing location.
Interesting spot here. You can see that he has had to start his foundation on a floor there, and it starts to rise up where they're technically floating. But he's done a really good job of giving that building a really nice elevation to it without having any of the bottom of those floor pieces go above ground level.
Well, hopefully TNG doesn't see this one because he would have an aneurysm over the underpinnings. We love you,
What
TNG.
underpinnings?
No, he didn't use the underpinnings. And, you know, to be honest, I am okay with them. And then on other times, I don't see it necessary. You know, a lot of times I don't use the underpinning technique just because I want to use that budget for something else. So it just depends on the build.
I think for this build, the combination of the patio with the floors actually makes it work. It gives it that element of that it's supposed to be elevated.
A nice entryway. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. That front porch is a complete cluster of trash, and I love it.
The boat in the bed is probably one of my little favorite merges. It's the little things, but it's just very, very well done. It's a novel idea.
Yeah, there is a ton of merging, and it's nuts. It's really, really well done.
Adding those things like the wood table texture over top of the desk. Those are the small things that are so easy to miss if you glance by the video first try. And there's another one. You've got the scrappy table over all your your scrap box and everything. But those textures make such a big difference.
Oh, the wood stove and that little cabinet, and there's a lot going on that I think a lot of people would miss, like that keg and the spool. Trav pointed that out last time. And I mean, that's crap that you're just going to walk right past and never notice because it's just well done. It doesn't stand out like, hey, look at me. That's the sign of a good lore-friendly build, you know?
I like that statue. It's a nice touch.
It's really cute with the light bulb in it. It's a fun idea.
I think he was a pretty bright guy.
Oh, shit. Here we go with the dad jokes.
For
And if
whatever
you...
reason, I like that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
That bug zapper in that locker. For some reason, I like that. And I really like that radiation barrel that you pointed out, like the tabletop merged into the scrap box.
There's a lot to unpack. And I mean, yeah, we've watched this, you know, 7 times, 8 times now, but at this point, some of us, and you still end up noticing, you know, new things about these camps all the time. It's not easy.
Double walls too. When I was talking about textures, there's a lot of double walling going on, but the choice of walls to use can make a big difference in the execution and the overall appearance. I actually like how the floor clips through just enough where it looks like it got dirtied up.
Well, and it's a smart use of a pre-existing location. I mean, anytime that you can use a pre-existing location and work around it with your build, do it, because that's free decor right there. And you know, obviously our budgets are restricted.
Many little details. I love it.
Uh-huh, definitely. Yeah, this is another fantastic build. I mean, they're all good. But like that right there, I don't know if you guys noticed the conduits that were on the ground in there. It's because if you put anything on the ground in there, it pops up through the roof. So it's a smart workaround. Fantastic job, though. Well, those were some fantastic camps, and I do apologize. My air conditioner kicked on when we were recording that, and it's because it is hotter than the devil's booty hole right now. And yeah, I'm gonna have to be mindful in the future about that. So I do apologize as we iron out the wrinkles. Now let's jump back over to the studio so we can see the results. And now a word from our sponsor, ADD. For the times when you're really hyper focused and you should be going to your studio, but you end up at ND's camp. Isn't that awesome? It's fantastic. All right. Well, while we're here, at least you get a look at it. Let's get back to the studio. All right. And I am joined by a couple of heathens. They're heathens. There's no other way to put it. They broke into my studio. I found them on the couch. I'm not talking about what they were doing, but hey, it happens. People wander into the studio. And that's why, again, I told you guys I wanted to get the community more involved so people are just allowed to come into the studio and they can come and go as they please. Now for the moment that you've been waiting for. Let's see the results. In first place, we have LD50. Congratulations. Fantastic job, by the way. Everybody, fantastic job, really. Second place, 1 past 5. In third place, we have Cyberjester 00. In fourth, we have 6 Samurai 62. And fifth place, last but not least by any means, is the legendary Coffee Ewok, okay? And I am also going to throw up my ballot results compared to the groups, and that way you guys can send out a lynch mob for me. Fantastic job, though, everybody. And, I want you guys to understand, when we're doing this voting, I take all the videos that, we pick for the top 5, and then I mush them up just like you guys get to see. At that point, we watch that thing. That's it. We just sit there and watch it and watch it and watch it. Some of us watched that video 8 to 9 times by the time this was all said and done. And it's because I want to make sure that everybody's happy with the places on their ballots. Now, the rules are when you're judging, just so we're clear on this and you guys know. As we're doing this in the background, yeah, we're pointing out things like, hey, check this merge out. Oh, this is really interesting. Things of that nature. But at no point is anybody allowed to say what place that they put any of these positions, okay? They cannot say who and what place whatsoever. That is all done secretly, and then I take all the results. We do the math on it, obviously, and that's how we get our first through fifth. But I figured I'd throw mine up there because I've done that a lot in the past, and that way you guys know what the group is picking compared to what I am doing myself, okay? So, fantastic job once again. I love you guys. Thanks for sticking around, and we will see you in the next one.
Yeah.